Listen, you're not gonna find anything on me, okay? Trust me.
Empty your pockets into the tray, sir, or we'll have to. Your pockets, sir?
Lady, the problem isn't in my pants.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and it's a double take for this week in X-Men. On Friday, Doc and I talked about the end of Ten of Swords. That event is wrapped up, although tomorrow here on the channel, Perch is going to show up and we're going to wrap it up just as far as an entire event. We reviewed the last 3 issues. The House of X, the head of X, are ready to move on. They announced essentially, the same day, Reign of X is what's coming. I assume this is the replacement for Dawn of X, the next chapter leading into whatever the next event is going to be. It is starting in December, so right around the corner. Essentially as soon as Ten of Swords is over, Reign of X begins. We don't have a lot of details, but I do have the the X-Men historian, the Marvel aficionado, Doc, here with me to join me. We're going to talk about it. How you doing, Doc?
I am good. I'm looking forward to discussing this next immediate future step for the X division.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And there's also a little plot point that I think that has been overlooked, or like it doesn't make any sense. We're going to talk about that afterwards as well. So I do want to say this before we get into the details of Reign of X and what we do know. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs down if you don't. Either way, we want to hear your thoughts on Reign of X. What do you think it's going to be? What big event do you think it's going to be leading to? Are you excited about Cy Spurrier? Are you excited about the X-Men out of Ten of Swords? Let us know what your thoughts are. All right, Doc, so this is the big promo that we got. It says, after the dawn comes the rain, and we get a lot of pictures, some interesting stuff. Obviously, we see Nimrod in there. We see Wolverine in his old getup. He's apparently undercover Madripoor. We see the mutants coming out of the, the Children of the Vault. They're returning from that. We see a lot of stuff. What do you think about this image? You want to break it down?
Yeah. So, I guess we can go from upper left to lower right.
All right.
We have Emma, obviously, handing out an invitation, which looks like for the Hellfire Club, which, okay, so I'm betting that means that they have to replace, either they're expanding something or they're going to have to replace somebody in the Hellfire Club.
Kitty Pryde still has to kill Sebastian, right?
I think so. So you may be looking for whoever's going to be the replacement for Sebastian. But even if he dies, they're just going to resurrect him. So what difference does it make?
Hey, maybe they'll throw him into the dungeons like they did.
And maybe they will. Yeah. Throw him down into the hole.
Who's the dude over his shoulder?
That looks like it's Mad Jim Jaspers.
Yes. Okay. So we are still going to be playing around in
other
Excalibur and the politics going on over there, satiating him with gems.
Yeah, or whatever. Then the weird owl looking guy, I think that might be that weird alien mutant thing that had that team that was like kind of the Otherworld Sinister from the Hellions issue. It looks like him, but it also, because they have similar eyes, I have no idea otherwise who the hell it is. Below that, we have Warren Worthington and Monet, but we see both of kind of their dualities in the Angel and Archangel side and the M and Penance side. So I guess they're probably going to put those two together, at least whether or not it's romantic or not.
You think they're going bad?
I don't know. I think that this might be them kind of putting the X office, trying to put them together so that they can both explore the fact that they have a duality to their existence, where they're two very different people at different times.
Okay.
So that may be what it is. The guy with the
Kid Omega?
Yeah, that looks like Kid Omega, and I'm betting that's going to be, I'm wondering whether or not he's going to finally take on the Phoenix Force. especially since
Jason Aaron's doing that in Adventures.
yeah, but once it's done, it may end up coming over to the X books because that's not too far. They're going to be done with that Phoenix thing in the X books in by February or March. We may be looking for that. Then you get.
So here's Arcade. Please bring back Murder World.
I know. We really need it.
One of my favorite things.
Honest to God, we need Murder World back just for a couple of hokey issues every so often that were just good fun and just kind of a mind fuck for the X-Men.
Who's this mean guy up here?
Which one? That looks like the Shadow King.
Okay, that's the Shadow King. For some reason, I was thinking maybe it was those space aliens that they stole their egg. The king egg from.
No, it's not.
But they don't have glasses.
No, it's not a brood. And the only one that could have potentially been was Brew, the little kid mutant one that was actually smart and not. But I'm pretty sure that's the Shadow King. Going back to the far left, near Emmett's.
Who's this guy here? The pink head.
That's Nimrod.
That's Nimrod.
Yeah.
So we're finally going to get back to that. One of the most interesting parts from House of X, Powers of 10. I believe it was in issue 1 of X-Men. They introduced that Nimrod was an inevitable, and he was being constructed at that very moment. We haven't seen him since.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything about the Forge or what was going on with all the AI stuff and the mutant versus human technological evolution. That was all the stuff that everybody was really hyped about coming out of House of X and Powers of X. And we haven't got anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all the way back on the left side, near Emma's hip, we have Legion. Like the eye. You can see like the profile of him.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, the last time we saw Legion, he was kind of merged with X-Man. So whether or not, we're still going to see that, I don't know. We haven't seen anything about Legion or X-Man. They were kind of merged together with Age of X-Man, a year and 2 years ago. So we haven't seen anything else about that since then. So them bringing him back is interesting. Then obviously right in the middle, we have Storm.
There's a reason that she's profiled in the middle and she's like the biggest figure. Apparently it's going to be a huge story.
Yeah, apparently Storm and whatever little diamond thing she's holding there is going to be super important for the whole future of the X-Men going in this next stage.
Yep.
I don't know what the diamond is. Not a clue.
So Bathe the Blood Moon and Cypher, who cares? Ruin the event.
Yep. Then you got Jean and Scott.
And then is that Bishop?
Well, where? Below?
Right here over by his lats.
I can't tell who any of the people in the background are.
That's not Phantom X?
I honestly can't tell. Now, the one thing that I think that it could be is these could be other members of the Summers family. But regardless, I'm not sure who the shadowy characters in the background are. Now, the one thing I will say, though, about this picture that it just kind of dawned on me is the way that Cyclops and Jean are kind of positioned here. I have a feel like they're going off on their own. That's the feeling that I get from this. Like they're leading towards something else, especially the way that Cyclops is, Scott's pointing out at something and Jean's, I guess, inspecting it mentally. So I have a feeling that they're leading in their own direction.
Makes sense. They're not on the Quiet Council. So now we got Wolverine, and that's Maverick, right?
Yes. Wolverine is Patch, and so you're going to probably see a lot more Wolverine kind of wandering around, especially with what's going on in X-Force, with Xeno running around. They're running around primarily in Madripoor. Patch was, Wolverine's kind of cover when he was operating in Madripoor years and years and years ago. So him kind of going back to that, would it be a huge surprise for him to operate in Madripoor again? And Maverick is long time connection to Wolverine, going back to their Team X days. So I'm betting that has a lot to do with the Wolverine solo title and X-Force coming in the not too distant future. Then obviously you have
X-23 and Darwin.
Two of the three. That might be, I can't tell if that's Darwin or Sync.
Okay. It's two of them. They came back.
Yeah. So two
that's
of
obviously
them
happening in issue 19.
I think so. Then you have the Peak, because that's obviously going to play a big role in the S.W.O.R.D book. And then finally you have Nightcrawler holding what I'm going to guess is the Krakoan Bible that he was talking about, creating his own religion on.
Yes. So I saw that too.
Yeah. So
what are you excited about? What's one thing on here that gets you excited?
Nimrod by far. Followed
this is
by,
what gets me excited. Arcade.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love Arcade, but Nimrod is easily the thing that I'm most excited for, because I've been waiting for that since, for over a year now. The next thing that I'm most excited about is at least two of the three people coming out of the vault. So X-23 and either Sync, I think that's Sync. Coming back out of the vault and seeing what has changed with them, what they've learned, all that stuff.
I bet they're the enemy now.
It wouldn't shock me. And then finally, Wolverine and Maverick. That's the next biggest thing that intrigues me.
Well, we definitely want to hear from the viewers. If you have any theories about this collage of characters and what their importance is in Reign of X, let us know in the comment section. What are you most excited about? What did Doc and I get wrong? We definitely want to hear from you guys and what you think about Reign of X. And is this all leading to an event? Absolutely. Now, Doc, I got to talk to you about this plot hole. Obviously, last week we talked about Dan Slott's Fantastic Four, where Franklin Richards was no longer welcome on Krakoa because he wasn't born a mutant. He actually used his powers to transform the genome or add the X gene to his genes, and he changed who he was at a fundamental level, and he wasn't allowed back. How in the hell was Mr. Sinister allowed on Krakoa?
Yeah, he's a mutant.
He couldn't even do it that much. He's hybrid.
Yeah, he grafted. He basically took a body, or took his own genome, then grafted John Proudstar's genome to it, and then created a clone of that he then transferred his consciousness into. Yeah, he's not a mutant. He's an experiment. Yeah, he's a science experiment, for Christ's sake. There is no way in hell. I mean, hell, they have him on the fucking Quiet Council. Yes, and he's leading his own private army of misfits. Yeah, he's on the Quiet Council. He gets his own army, and he's a science experiment of merging two genes together. Yet, Franklin, who, whether or not his powers, his X gene was there when he was born, or if he fundamentally altered his DNA on a genetic level to add an X gene, he's a mutant. He's no less of a mutant than Sinister. Oh, he's more of a mutant. In my opinion, yeah. So this is a giant glaring plot hole that most people aren't going to, I didn't think of this on my own. It was from a viewer. I forgot to write his name down. But thank you so much for pointing this out to me. I was like, that's right. What the hell is Mr. Sinister doing there? He's on the Quiet Council. Exactly. Get your crap together, Marvel, because Dan Slott said everybody from the House of X and all over the entire Marvel editorial team have known about this for months. Yeah. So either it's a bullshit excuse, that's not Xavier, or their editorial department is as terrible as we think it is. Well, or a combination of all three.
It's kind of proven in the Marvel 616. Obviously, we talked about that yesterday on the Comics Aficionados.
Yes.
If you didn't watch that, go watch the Comics Aficionados. That was a good panel. People are going to enjoy it. So I don't know, Doc. Is there anything else to say about Reign of X and what you're excited about coming in December?
Now, the one thing that I will say though is, are we going to have to start changing the name of Krakoa? It's because we have now
Should
that
be
we know.
Okara now.
Well, not necessarily right yet, but now we have, as of the end of X of Swords, Arakko and Krakoa are both in the same universe, both on the same planet. It's only, and we know that they move because that chunk of Arakko.
And we know they move towards each other.
Yeah. So it's only a matter of time, whether they're already merged when we get into the next issue, or if it's just a matter of time before they merge. Are we going to have to start referring to it as Okara? Because it's not Arakko and it's not Krakoa anymore. It is a merged island.
That's a very good point. What do the viewers think? Is it going to be Okara moving forward, or are you still going to call it Krakoa?
I think that's the problem that they've created here. Everybody's going to keep calling it Krakoa, whether or not it's Arakko or Okara or Krakoa. And there's too many A's, O's, and K's here.
It does get confusing. All right, Doc. Well, I do appreciate you coming on here, talking about the little information we have about Reign of X, do a little bit of speculation based on the graphic that we have, looking at a little tiny, enormous plot hole concerning the Franklin Richardson being booted out of Krakoa while Mr. Sinister is allowed to be in a leadership position and destroy everything. And I think that'll do it. Next week, there will only be one this week in X-Men, and I think we're going to be talking about Hellions and whatever news there is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that issue.
All right, later, brother.
Take care, man.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.